Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another video that is part of our homeowners section. Now these videos are intended for people who have bought a house that the plumbing was done by Plumbing Solutions. It's our homeowners guide, homeowners series. In this episode, I want to be talking about gallons per minute and your flow rate and how much you're getting. You see, a few years back, several years back, when I first got into warranty, I had a homeowner guy who called me up, and he called the county building inspector as well, and he had both of us come out there, and he thought something was wrong with his house, and he wanted to show us what was going on. So he turned the kitchen sink on, and he went into the master, and he turned on both lavatories, and he turned on the lavatory in the hall bathroom, and everything was fine. And then he said, "Now watch this," and he ran upstairs and he turned his wash machine on, and sure enough, that kitchen faucet, the pressure dipped, the flow rate dipped, because you're starting to run out of that pressure, that flow rate. Most residents that we do, you're dealing with a 3/4 water meter. Now, some things like apartment complexes and stuff like that, they might have as big as a 4-inch water meter. But most of your residents have a water meter. You know, the little thing in the yard kind of looks like this. Now, this is an example. This is a backflow preventer, but a lot of times this comes in conjunction with your water meter. And this is a 3/4, so it's about that size. It's not that big. This is also 3/4, little contraption I made. Well, with a 3/4 water meter at about 60 to 80 psi, you're going to have somewhere in between 5 and 7.5 gallons a minute. That's just what you're going to get. Now, if you had a bigger pipe like this, and you had, say, 75 psi on this guy, well, this is a 4-inch pipe. This is a 4-inch fitting. You're going to have a lot more flow rate coming out of a pipe that size under that pressure than you would just a little old piece of 3/4. Now, we do set all of our houses. We have gauges, and we have these things. You've probably seen it out in your garage. It's called a pressure regulating valve. And these things are adjustable. It's just, if you're going to adjust it, go get you a gauge. These are pretty cheap. You get them at a hardware store, or if you run around and find your builder, he might get his hands on one of these little gauges just so you can check and see what you got. But we've already adjusted these things. But if you want to, you can adjust these. And there's a little locking nut here. You're gonna have to have a pair of pliers. I've been messing with this one, but you're gonna have to have a pair of pliers. And you screw this bolt down, pressure goes up. You screw the bolt out, pressure goes down. I do have a whole video on these, guys. If you're interested in how all this works, there's a whole nother video on that, so I'm not going to get too much into it. The other thing I want to talk about is all of your faucets have these little guys on them. They're called aerators. And all of your showers have little things in them. Now, they're required to mark on those what the gallons per minute are, and I believe this one says it's 2 gallons a minute. They're all somewhere in between 1.5 gallons to 2.5 gallons. This one is 1 gallon a minute, and you can change these things. Of course, a lot of the EPA stuff, they want to keep those gallons a minute down. And this is one of our popular shower heads, and yeah, it's written right there, 1.75 gallons a minute. So 1.75 gallons a minute shower head, with a 3/4 water meter, you probably can take 2 showers at one time without a noticeable pressure loss. But the more fixtures you use in your house, the more gallons per minute you're going to need, and the lower those flow rates and those pressures are going to seem. All right, I hope that helps out.